Vartalab new episode with myself, Aakash, his self, Navin, and his self this time, Hashbass.
Hi.
Hi. I don't call you Hashbass, so it's weird to call you Hashbass on this. Do you know how I met Hashbass?
I know that you have met and you keep talking about how you have a new best friend.
Yeah.
I get jealous sometimes.
We are best friends.
So please elaborate.
So first of we had got to know each other. I knew him, I was a fan, right? Because like I was listening to music and all. And then Shashwat, him and I spoke on that ill-fated, short-lived app called, what is it called? Community. Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
Community. That was a short-lived TV show.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, Clubhouse we spoke. But then one day I'm in Mumbai for at Veranda for a Dikchik kind of night with my flatmates and all, and this one is there. Yeah.
Wow.
And he had just moved to Bombay, okay, and he's like, oh bro, मैं आ गया Bombay shift हो गया, and me being myself, I'm like, bro, नहीं है रहने लायक ये शहर, इधर क्यों आया तू?
First line.
But you're from Delhi, right?
Yeah.
So a little bit upgrade happened.
Yeah, I mean in some senses, I'm sure.
Okay.
Do you not feel it's a mild upgrade?
It's nice.
उसके घर पे पानी वानी भर गया था, so I can ask like why.
Then if you don't have that experience, how would you have Bombay experience?
वो तो है. But he was very fascinated क्योंकि 4th floor पे पानी आया.
3rd floor पे. तो एक हफ्ता में सिर्फ पानी मैनेजमेंट कर रहा था. गाने वाने गए पहाड़ में. पहले मैं सिर्फ पानी निकाल.
You feel like a farmer in Satara.
Yeah.
कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को बुलाओ. एक टाइम पे पीओपी में ही ले आया था. वाइट सीमेंट में ही ले आया. लगा दिया मैंने, चिपका दिया. अब आता मेरे को लगाना, फिक्सिंग करना दीवारों को, like कैसे पानी रोकना.
Did the doctor fix it or not? Like
No, bro. I bought the proper white cement. घोल के लगाना, उसके ऊपर पॉलीथिन लगाना, सब कुछ like I kind of.
Did you Google it?
No, bro. I saw him one time do it, and then I was like, अच्छा यही तो करता होता है. Then I was like, मैं इसको क्यों बुला रहा हूँ?
If you're a man, it comes with the DNA. Okay, it's a part of it.
That's great. That's well done, dude.
Yeah. I mean, like that's one thing, right? Like my father's an electrician.
Yeah.
So he had like most of the skills. Like जो भी करना है मैनुअल लेबर उसको आता है, लेकिन करने का मूड नहीं है उसको. You know what I'm saying? Like पूरे सोसाइटी का इलेक्ट्रिसिटी फिक्स करेगा, हमारे घर पे फैन नहीं चल रहा है. That's the reality I lived with my entire life, dude. So I was like, fuck this, I'm learning this so I can fix it.
Yeah.
And then what happened is I did engineering, telecom, and now my neighbors think I'm also electrician.
Yeah.
So now I'm going and fixing that thing also for no reason.
Correct.
But वो था कि मतलब for a whole while he was like कि you don't have any of these skills.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not a manly boy, you're not a boy.
Yeah.
And but now when I lived alone, वो तो सब सीखना ही पड़ा. Like when I was like when we got the IKEA bookshelf, and I was like nail लगा के मैं से line में ठोक रहा था. My partner was like, "Fuck, you're so hot, like so much more like just like the fact that you're doing this like nail me daddy types."
I wanted to set up that my fiance had come to stay over that day, so we had bought IKEA shit. And I was setting up a table and she shouted at me saying, "Akele mat kar, tere ko lag jayega." So I was not allowed
Different
to
strokes.
do it.
Yeah.
But hey man, how Mumbai, contrary to what I said, Mumbai must not have been so bad, is what I'm trying to say.
No, bro, I love Mumbai.
Yeah, no? इधर at least काम करते हैं लोग एकदम.
काम करते हैं और like काम से काम रखते हैं.
हाँ. Except me, मैं तो घर आ जाता हूँ इसके.
That's fine. I love mehta at my house. But हाँ यार, like Bombay सही है. बड़े अजीबोगरीब तरीके के लोग भी मिलते हैं, बड़े अच्छे भी मिलते हैं, बुरे भी मिलते हैं. लाइक सुबह अच्छे होते हैं, शाम को बुरे हो जाते हैं, शाम को बुरे होते हैं तो सुबह अच्छे हो जाते हैं. ऐसे लोग भी मिलते हैं. बट कोई बात नहीं यार, मैं दिल्ली वाला हूँ तो फिर मैं दिल्ली वालों की तरह बात करता हूँ उनसे, तो फिर उनको बुरा लग जाता है. कहते तुम दिल्ली से हो, तुम ऐसे करते हो, बात कर. मैंने क्या किया, तुम्हारा क्या लिया है? कुछ नहीं लिया, जस्ट नॉर्मली बात करता हूँ.
But like you also had the Delhi get grind off of you like little bit because you were in LA for a while.
Bro, I have well traveled in places where I shouldn't have been, but luckily I was there.
What do you mean we shouldn't have been?
चेन्नई कौन रहेगा?
क्यों?
4 साल. रह सकते हैं, मतलब मैं किसी को वो नहीं कह रहा, मतलब बट मेरे को ऐसा लगा था कि थोड़े टाइम बाद की लाइक कि वापस चले जाना चाहिए मेरे को.
चेन्नई में क्यों था तू 4 साल?
स्टडीड साउंड इंजीनियरिंग यार.
एट ऐसे ही
यही करता था मैं.
ऐसे
रिकॉर्डिंग पॉडकास्ट रिकॉर्ड करता था.
ऐसे ही. आई डिडंट नो यू आर एन ऐसे ही चेन्नई ग्रेजुएट. आई एम एन ऐसे ही मुंबई ग्रेजुएट. Yeah. You did the diploma?
Where was I did.
Yeah.
Basically I dropped. मैं जैसे नवीन ने बोला कि like he's electrical engineer, तो मैं mechanical engineer था पहले. फिर मैंने ड्रॉप करके मैं साउंड करने चला गया, सीखने चला गया. एंड देन फिर उसके बाद फिर मैं LA चला गया पढ़ने. फिर उसके बाद मैं वापस आया तो अलग ही इंसान था. अब मैं गाने भी बनाता हूँ. तो it's become like from places to making to music.
Yeah. What was the first time you heard a song Hashbass was on? Do you remember?
You only played. We were in your house. The
Maya only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maya सुना था.
Which, so he was like, we're chilling and he's like, Maya. Prabdeep wala.
Yeah.
That's your song. Oh fuck. Then that's the first song I've heard.
Okay.
Because he played something.
I played bass on it, but
dude, that song is so good.
That song is mostly you, dude. Like the bass lines all on that all three of those songs is like mostly you.
Yeah. Oh shit, I don't know that, man. That's cool. But then like when you were chilling, when you had come down to Bombay, was when he was like, ye banda sun, like I'll have him playing in the background while I'm doing comedy.
What Mehta didn't tell you is that night when I met him at Veranda, I actually reached out to him and told him ki like, I love your work. What Mehta does not remember how the conversation started. Then Mehta only remembers telling me कि Bombay क्यों आया, यहाँ से चला जा. So I was like, यार ये बंदा क्या डाउनर दे गया मेरे को यार 2 सेकंड में. अभी तो मैं आया पहला गिग देखने आया, पहले मना करके चला गया. कह रहा भाई मत आओ यहाँ बताओ. फिर उसका कह रहा भाई तेरा म्यूजिक बढ़िया. क्या सोच रहा हूँ यार, म्यूजिक तो ठीक है,
दूर से बजाओ.
दूर से.
No, his joy is like, उसने आपके दिमाग में डाल दिया, now he can fuck off knowing that he's ruined your day.
No, he didn't actually. No, he didn't actually. Otherwise, I won't like show up to my house and I won't like.
I was just like giving him an honest this thing of like, stay here, make a thing, get into the system and then fuck off, because like you don't need to be here to do work. You just need to be here to be in the system.
For sure.
Yeah. Wait, tell us more. Every week I find out one more musician he's either met or played with where I am like, fuck, ये इसके साथ बजा है. Please enlighten Navin with some of the names you've played with.
बहुत हैं यार.
हाँ.
Like from sessions, it's been Pratik Kaur, Sid Shriram, Karsh Kale, Benny Dayal, Ankur Tiwari, Sangeeta Bhattacharya, Kamakshi Khanna, Vilasha Sinha.
You didn't want Sidhu
Moosewala, which is later, which is just recent, which I mean, unfortunately never happened, but it was great of what the time I spent. And then who else? There's so many other bands, Bolly Jazz, Bartender, Shilpa Rao, और कौन है? भूल ही गया मैं तो. So stuff like that.
And it's just across the board, right? That's the fun part.
Amazing. And the thing is like such a bass, such a undervalued thing. Like for a newbie listener, they're like, oh, क्या मस्त electric guitar बजाया, क्या octave गाया, and then like, and I have always been like the kind of purveyor of like, okay, like Josh, our common friend, Joshua Thomas, who's also a guitarist, like he's always like into like some terrific bass. Right. So he'll personally curate music and be like, ye dekh kiska bass sun. Right. And when the whole house shakes, you feel like, oh wow, like there's some like.
I mean, I can say this on podcast, like clearly now that I've broken some subs in some venues with my bass. And some owners don't like me because they're like कि अरे hash आ गया तो मतलब आज तो फटेगा. And it's not, I don't have an intent to break things, but it's just that the force I when I heard bass I'm actually was not a bass player. That's also another thing in my life.
What were you?
I'm actually a piano player.
Okay.
So मैं पापा कहते हैं और वो सारी चीजें बजाता था, मेरे को बड़ा खुशी मिलती थी उसमें, क्योंकि मैं that's what my hobby was. So music was never the intent. And when I saw like somebody play bass in my college, which I dropped out of, it's just like I was like fascinated because I wanted to play guitar and guitar player का line मतलब दुकान बंद हो गई थी क्योंकि सबको गिटार बजाना है. So there was this one instrument which I saw like, oh, this is cool, man, this is just low end energies like this coming. So मैंने बजाना शुरू किया. So when I saw the bass and the only perception from that day till now every time is like कि भाई should rumble, should feel like भाई लोगों को पता चले कि मैं कमरे में हूँ. किसी को घंटा फर्क नहीं पड़ता कभी कभार, but like just like they should feel it, but like yeah man, so that's was the thing. And it I feel like the thing that you just said ki like you feel the rumble, and nice rumble, not like bad rumble, because then that's your stomach. Uske baad so so I kind of preferred like when I started playing out, I was like really bad and all. Like then I saw players and I was like, wow, this is also a way to play this instrument, and ab yahi karta hu. Like, I mean, that's one of the things.
You played for like what, 4 years before you went to LA to learn. What did you learn in LA?
I did my associates of arts degree in bass performance. So
that's not a degree. How can that be a degree?
It's either you do a bachelor's or you do an associates.
Oh, there's no masters.
Masters also you can do, but why do you want to master?
More money, more time.
Mastering तो मैं अपने आप कर लूँगा.
तो associate क्या होता है उसमें?
Associate degree होती है कि अगर जैसे वो 3 साल के पैसे नहीं देने तो 1.5 साल के पैसे दे दो, तो पढ़ाई कर लो. And I got selected to do the full ride scholarship. I mean, I was the runner up for full ride scholarship, which I got selected for. And through that, they were like, yo, you can do AA. And then that's how I went back to study. And I studied and I graduated. And I became the outstanding student. And then I started teaching there.
Oh, nice.
So that's how... and then I moved back because of my mom. But that's a separate story. So this is how, like, when I reached LA, bro, like, I very फट गई थी देख के. Like, there are... Like, I still tell people, like, you know, there are, like this is, you can say, like, India is a pond when it comes to musicians. Yeah. Like, the US is a river. Or you can say, like, an ocean. Yeah. You know, like, a single LA city has about, like, 60,000 bass players. How can you make yourself, like, मैं वहाँ players को देख रहा हूँ, and everybody was, like, the best. More, yeah, like, you would look at them and be like, भाई मैं क्यों आया यहाँ? You know? Like, bro, it, like, that changed me. Like, I just saw, like, things and I was like, hey, kya chal raha hai yaar? Like, they're so good. Specifically the Swedes and the Japs. Like, they're so good at their craft. And I was like, wow, either I'm not disciplined or they are too amazing. Yeah. Which was the latter. Yeah. It's also the environment that you grow up. यहाँ चित्तर गाए हमने. Like, जाते हो वहाँ चित्तर शायद अलग तरीके से मिलते होंगे. So, like, but yeah, man, like, so I saw that, and I still remember I called my mom the first show happened, and my teacher who actually taught me, he played with Crosby, Still and Nash in the Woodstock 50th anniversary. Whoa. Okay? It's insane. Like, he showed me the video and I was like casually just showing me, देखे ये 3 लोग आपने? कौन है ये अंकल लोग? कैसे कि this Crosby? And मैं कहा, what gig is this? Woodstock 50th anniversary. Like, क्या दिखा रहा है यार मेरे को? Like, but apparently, like, the first show happened and I was like, मैं चौड़ में घूम रहा हूँ, scholarship winner. You know, I was like, so he comes in, he's like, it was this room only, this size of this room is a private lesson. He just comes and sits and says, scholarship winner, right? हाँ, मैं ही हूँ. Like, I just told him, like, this typical Indian mentality. हाँ, भाई मैं ही हूँ.
Hey, sorry, I want to stop you there. It's typical Delhi mentality.
he was Canadian. Okay, he's Canadian. तो मैं उससे कनाडा इंडिया वाला वो कनेक्शन मार रहा हूँ, उसको घंटे का फर्क पड़ रहा है, ठीक है. एंड ही इज लाइक कि हे मैन, लाइक यू वांट प्ले बेस राइट? आई वाज लाइक या, लाइक ओके व्हाट डू यू वांट टू बी? तो मैं वही चौड़ में, आई वांट टू बी लाइक विक्टर वुटन, आई वांट टू प्ले सोलो बेस, आई विल शो यू. Like, this is the mentality, dude. I laugh at it every now and then when I say it, and I love to say this story because, and then he's like, okay, play. Yeah. And ये जो साइलेंस था बस ऐसे ही हो गया. लाइक मैं ऐसे बैठा उसके सामने, बेस निकाल के वो बैठा, ओके प्ले, and then I wanked off like whatever I knew. Well, the next thing he did was he packed his bag and left the room. He didn't say anything. He just left the room, man. And I was like, I called my mom in the same room. मैं रो रहा हूँ, मेरे आंसू निकल रहे हैं. मैं कहा, मम्मी मैं कहाँ आ गया हूँ? मेरी मम्मी ने फोन काट दिया यार. फिर मेरे पापा को मैंने फोन किया, मैंने कहा पापा मैं कहाँ? और उस टाइम फोन महंगा होता था यार. महंगा होता, 2011 की बात कर रहा हूँ, जहाँ पे मैट्रिक्स के फोन इतने होते थे कि मतलब लिटरली मैं रेंट दे दूँ अपना जब बिल आते थे. सो इट वाज लाइक आई कॉल्ड माय डैड एंड आई वाज लाइक कि पापा यार ये तुमने डिसाइड किया था यही करना है, अब क्या, अब वापस की टिकट तो मैं दे नहीं सकता, अपने आप को जो करना है कर लो, नहीं तो फिर देख लो, भीख मांग लो. और फिर फोन काट दिया उन्होंने. लाइक मैंने कहा ओ फक, तो माँ बाप भी नहीं आ रहे, यहाँ पे भी कोई बचाने नहीं आएगा, कुछ नहीं होगा. तो फिर देन आई स्टार्टेड लाइक लिटरली, लाइक यू कैन से लाइक, यू नो हाउ यू टेल अ किड इन अ टॉडलर स्कूल की लाइक ये ऐसे इसको पकड़ो. आई रीलर्नड एवरीथिंग अबाउट म्यूजिक, लाइक फ्रॉम द पॉइंट ऑफ काउंटिंग बेसिक 4/4. Like, it was like so humbling. उसके सामने बैठता था मैं, कहता बेटा हो गई तेरी स्कॉलरशिप, आजा. And that was his, I think that was the breaking point for me, like to understand. And then, you know, like you go to this, like, to be honest, I realized this after so many years, is people go to the US if you are doing music, it's for the exposure. You can study in the classroom, but जो exposure होता है ना, वो तुमको असली सिखाता है. Like for me, my mentors who I met, जो भी मैंने म्यूजिक देखा, वो ज़्यादा विजुअली देख के, किसी को देखते बजाते हुए देख के कि वो ये तो फाड़ रहा है, that is what captivated me more than like sitting in a classroom and be like, I have to play this. I don't know if I make sense, but
you had your whole whiplash moment. The whole whiplash moment you had.
Whoplash हो गया था यार. मैं whoplash ही बोलता हूँ. Like I mean the way he literally, I played some and he's like he didn't say a word, dude. That was the first time ever किसी ने मेरे मुंह पे चपाट मारा ऐसा यार. And I was like कि what did he just do?
So then what happened in the next lecture? Like, did you like, how did...
No man, I said man, hey, I want to learn from you, man. Like,
yeah.
Just for the first time I left my ego, which has been crushed since that day. I let it outside the door and I was like, hey man, can you like, I know you're fucking amazing. And apparently later I got to know he was the bass chair for 15 years in that same fucking school.
Oh fuck.
And he stepped down because he was like, "Arey chalo, is मैं teacher बन जाता हूँ." You know, he was like on that, and he's very educated. And he was like, it's like, okay, like, hey, can you? And he saw something in me.
Yeah.
So maybe that was his, like, you can say a dick move on him, but a great move for me.
Yeah.
And then next lecture I went, bro. I told him, I said, ki, hey. Remember? जानते हैं आप मैंने first show में आपने can कर दिया था मेरे को. So he's like, yeah, hey, tell me what you want. And it's like, hey, can you just like teach me? It's like, but तो पढ़े लिखे हो तुम तो कहते हो sir, please. थोड़ा औकात में आ गया हूँ. And literally told him like, hey man, like I just really want, I'm here now. Like I don't have an escape. You don't have an escape. And you know, the thing was the school used to assign teachers.
Right.
So my boss, who later became my boss, who auditioned me, he also like was that on me. Like वो मेरे को first prize उसने दिया ही नहीं मेरे को full ride scholarship का. 3 साल बाद मेरे को उसने बताया कि मैं नहीं दूंगा तेरे को. इसलिए नहीं दिया क्योंकि मैं चाहता था कि तू outstanding student बने. तो वो मेरे को हमेशा हर एक चीज के लिए second prize दे देता था. It was like, भाई ऐसे क्यों? तो then later I realized कि like these guys were indirectly pushing me because they saw some shit in me which like I mean it's like life, bro. Like some people, like teachers see shit that and I was like oh wow, like ऐसा तुम ऐसे क्या खेल रहे थे 3 साल मेरे साथ. And you know but it was worthwhile. And then I went, that same teacher, I hung on to him so badly that by the second year he was like भाई छोड़ दे मेरे को यार. Like छोड़ दे मेरे को, like हो गया. मैं लाइक इंडिया आता था, उसके लिए काजू की बर्फी लेके जाता था. उसको काजू की बर्फी पसंद थी, उसको खिलाता था, उसको बोलता था सिखा दे, वो और टफ चीजें सिखाता था मेरे को. लाइक क्या हो रहा है? बट मैन, सो थैंकफुल टू दीस पीपल मैन. लाइक रियली
awesome,
really. And people always underestimate the value of like an education when it comes to arts. You know, people assume कि Beatles को नहीं आता था तो सबको जरूरी नहीं है, but it really helps.
No, it really depends from person to person, you know. Like a lot of people, like even now later when I graduated, and I'm not boasting, but I worked really hard because I kind of realized that this is it for me. You know, I've dropped out of mechanical engineering. It is 2008, like where everybody wanted every parent wanted the kid to be either a doctor, CA या जो भी. उसके बीच में मैंने चालू भी किया इंजीनियरिंग करना और फिर छोड़ भी दिया. उसके बाद फिर अब तो लग गएंगे, अब तो अगर मैं घर गया वापस तो अब तो भीख मांगनी पड़ेगी. So then I kind of realized कि man, this is it now for me. And like even now when people ask me like, hey man, how do you feel like going outside India to study music? Of course it's a niche thing because you have to spend a lot of money and it's not easy. Unless अगर मैं Reliance और वो तो चलते फिरते कर लूँगा. But I'm a middle class kid, you know. So for people like us, you're just like, okay, now how do you make that important decision? तो मैं and it's a very important decision. मैंने लोन ले रखा था अपने नाम पे जो मैं अभी तक चुकता कर रहा हूँ. 2011 का 22 पहुँच गया हूँ मैं. The thing is कि the thing that I tell people is like you need to realize कि what you're getting into. Even if you don't realize, तुम्हारे वहाँ चित्तर उड़ेंगे जाके. अगर तुम्हें चित्तर उड़वाने, नहीं तो तुम chill कर सकते हो life में. You know, so that kind of vibe. And now, like I tell people कि like if you feel that you want to do it, go do it.
Yeah.
At least get that exposure. Yeah. You know, because like I have lived on that motto, bro. If you don't experience it, then how will you feel things? Yeah. अगर can तो हो ही सकता है, bro. Like I told one of my favorite drummer, all-time favorite drummer, मैं तेरे साथ बजाऊंगा. पता नहीं कैसे बोल दिया मैंने जाके उसको. LA में ही बोला, मैंने कहा यार man, fuck, I love your drumming, I want to play with you. उसके बाद मेरे को realize हुआ मैंने बोल के कि भाई ये तो फेंक देगा मेरे को उठा के बाहर. But then what the try? And I actually played with him. And I actually became friends with him. Nice. Which was like, wow. Yeah. Like I was like, कि अगर मैंने शायद नहीं बोला होता, which I have a regret for one guy which I always wanted to say, and he was sitting right next to me like this, and I didn't say him. And to date, I have that regret कि यार मैंने अगर उस बंदे को उस टाइम बोल दिया होता, तो at least वो बंदा पहचानता तो सही मेरे को. Yeah. So like.
Have you had any of those? Just to my.
I hope it is interesting. What I'm.
Oh, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
My theory with this is very simple. I have not gone to any musical training or any music school or anything. I rely on people like Hashbass. कि तुम लोग जाके सीख के आओ और मैं बोलेगा कि ऐसा टोंगड़ा गुड़ोंग चाहिए तो फिर वैसा बनाने का.
बिल्कुल.
Like when I was learning guitar and this is like same middle class family, so I had to like beg my sister कि मतलब एक लेके देना मेरे को please. So she would give and then it was all me कि I have to learn on my own.
Sure.
And it was just for passion. I didn't want to like really play or anything because then like I always was like हाँ मस्त बजाते TV पे लोग ऐसे जो भी बजाते. And I've seen parties where they become the life of the party.
Yeah, I was the one.
Yeah, so I would go and every Sunday I remember I had to go to Mira Road, which is like next to Bhander. Travel, like take a bus, take a rickshaw and then go to the thing. And it was in the church ka compound, okay?
Right.
Nice.
So like 3 to 4 on Sunday afternoons when everybody else was sleeping, this guy called Camillus would teach me. Shout out to Camillus, sir.
Shout out to Camillus.
And that's why they were like, oh, you have to learn all of this. You have to learn musical language.
Yeah.
You have to learn these chords. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, and I was like, yeah, CA bhi kar lenge hum log. Like that comes after 3 months.
Yeah.
Just
पहले तो string उसको ठीक से पकड़ string.
Just like the most basic song, right? Like he's a jolly good fellow or whatever the fuck you're learning. It's like that. And I obviously like picked up whatever I learned and I fucked off after like 2-3 months. I left only. I'm like कि मैं बाकी internet भी सीख लूँगा. And he felt bad. I think he would still message me after a while saying कि are you not coming back करके. And I was like, no.
Yeah, because like and I can understand how that like my whole musical journey has been the only things I've learned formally were the drums.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
And nothing else I learned formally.
Aakash.
I haven't played in so long, but like I completely get it. Like it's a different journey for everyone. But at the same time, when I'm jamming, like when I was jamming for the album, like there is a genuine like you're just lost. Yeah. Like you it doesn't matter what skill set anybody is from or anything, as long as you're in the same emotional sync. Correct. It's just like zoop karke.
Yeah.
ऐसा ये हो जाता है. Have you had? We don't get that in comedy, no? Like we don't get that opportunity in comedy to just like have a collective experience like musicians do.
Improv में होता है, not in stand up. Improv is like when 4 or 5 of you all like together get what you're doing and the scene goes like from one suggestion of a word to like an entire sequence of events and they're hilarious after hilarious and character everybody gets right, everybody gets whatever. It's like a whole magical thing happening on stage. I've witnessed so many times.
It's the moment. It really is.
People shit on improv a lot sometimes, even I do, because there's a lot of shitty
It's
improv.
quite shittable also.
Yeah, there's a lot of shitty improv in the city right now, and I'm not going to mince my words.
Name names.
I'll name names. But like, yeah, the good ones don't carry on doing improv. They obviously all have branched into acting and all. Yeah. Like Adam Dow used to teach first and he was good. Then he's gone back to America a little bit. He does that. Gavin was so good. All the good ones have moved on. So like now, whatever. I don't know. I feel the comedy situation only is in a flux weirdly right now.
Flux.
But I mean, we're talking to an independent musician who is like the most flux state possible. Like बिना Bollywood तो कैसे ही मुश्किल, कितना ही मुश्किल to be a musician.
Are you talking to me like as in?
I'm just saying like, like as an independent musician, at some point you have to start working with Bollywood.
The thing is, I've always been the indie musician. It's so many crazy things that when you guys are talking about, it's like I can relate to how Navin said like he had to pick up a guitar and go to places. It's also at that point of time it was lack of information. I felt like I never knew. I'm a lefty, by the way. I never knew that there's a left-hand bass that existed. तो मैं जब दुकान में गया भरत म्यूजिक हाउस की, तो सरदार जी ने बोला जी ये बेस है, ये बजा लो, और ये राइट हैंड बेस है. So I learned how to play a right hand bass. मैं US गया, मैंने कहा ये ऐसे कैसे बना रखा है. जब बंदे ने उतारा बजा के देखा, मतलब 3-4 साल से जो मैं करता आ रहा हूँ वो but I should have done this way.
Yeah. Did you ever switch back? You don't. Now you play right only.
I play right, but I also know how to take the same bass, turn it around and play left.
Nice.
Because I try to teach myself. But then I play left hand, right hand, but it also helps me in certain ways because this is the main working hand.
Right.
So there are some things that I play much more swiftly than a right hand guy trying to play a right hand bass.
I feel you. That was
very twisted
yeah.
thought, but it's like that.
Same, because of I also learned everything in right. Like, not that it helped my guitar playing at all, but the drums and all, it was a lot like.
It does, bro.
Yeah, just
so we had a left-hand guitarist in our church, and the whole purpose of doing all of this when I went to Camillus Sir was so I can play in the church. Like every Good Friday, they remove the piano, they remove the musical instruments which were like electronic, and it would be only like acoustic guitar. Like everybody's like, Jesus died, so sad, whatever. And I would just like be like, "Mujhe bhi ye karna hai." I was just like, the guy called Malcolm would teach me a little bit. So I would like, fully play. And then there was one left-hand guitarist, and we would sit in a circle because our church was small, our choir is small. बीच में एक chair के ऊपर एक paper रखा और 3 लोग उसके आजू-बाजू बजा रहे, and the left guy just like bang against the fretboard. Full time, full mass, that happens. And we were like, we forgive you, but it's Good Friday, so it's okay.
Good Friday. But I relate to so many informations that I were before, and then it's just like now realize कि ये तो खेला हो रखा था.
Yeah, dude.
और हम तो फिसल गए इसके अंदर जाके.
You remember there was this one guitarist who was a lefty who learned how to play righty, but like he just flipped the guitar around. So instead of like he didn't rearrange the strings, so it was ulta only.
वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ. That's how I also learned.
Yeah,
like, basically.
Who was that though? There was a blues player.
But it's like right hand bass, and you switch it around.
Yeah.
And your strings are like upside down now.
Yeah.
And you play that.
So your C is not like this; it's like this.
Yeah.
It's like basically instead of you playing like this, now you're playing like this.
Yeah.
So it's like okay.
Yeah, full brain is ulta.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break while we figure out the ambidexterity required to execute something like this. See you on the other side.
Wow.
Hello. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Cyrus Drives, Cyrus is joined by Puneet K. Goyal. Puneet is the co-founder of Blue Smart, India's first all-electric ride-hailing service. Driving around the city in the Volvo XC40 Recharge, Cyrus and Puneet talk about how the taxi service sector around the globe is adapting to electric vehicles. Don't forget to check out the video edition of this episode on the Cyrus Says YouTube channel, and there are some really funny bits over here, especially pay attention to what happens when they hit the toll plaza. On Postcard from Nowhere's Ireland Untraveled series, Utsav explores foghorns, their colonial connection, and the X Club, a not-so-secret scientific organization. On Credit Smart with Sybil, Anupam and Sujata decode some of the factors that might hinder a good credit score and help you arrive at solutions. On Storytellers and Story Sellers, Vineet is joined by travel vlogger MSK, and they talk about how his fear of the camera actually helped his vlogging career. And on The Longest Constitution, Priya talks about slum eviction as well how the use of contempt of court has crippled freedom of expression over the years. Once again, I'd like to remind you all, don't forget to visit our merch store. It's on ivmpodcast.com. We have a link to the store. It'll take you to our partner's website, beyondfollow.com, and you can go directly beyondfollow.com/IVM. Also, do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Please do spread the word about this show or any of the other shows that you are listening to. You can do this by telling a friend, because word of mouth is helpful, or rate or review these shows wherever you're listening to them. That is also really helpful to us. And just a reminder, a number of our shows are available on YouTube as full video podcasts. Do check those out as well. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week: Bumble, Volvo XC40 Recharge, Heads Up for Tails, HDFC Mutual Fund, and TransUnion Civil. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Everyone has their own name in this studio. I don't call anyone by their name except for Navin.
Amarjeet, Jinx, and Young Santa.
You all heard me.
Yeah.
I was
this is on record. Should this be on record? We should be on record.
पश्चिम बिहार से हो? कौन से ब्लॉग से हो? Okay, nice. मैं जनकपुरी से हूँ.
आपने भारत म्यूजिक बोला, मैं तभी समझ गया था कि ये वेस्ट वाले.
Exactly. मैं जनकपुरी से हूँ यार.
अपना पहला गिटार
वहीं से सबने वहीं से लिया bro. सबने ही वहीं से लिया. ये साले वेस्ट दिल्ली में सिर्फ भरत म्यूजिक स्टोर से वही बेचते हैं सब लोगों को.
Hobner के guitars.
This was an honest take, okay? This is very honest.
Yeah. We get it.
Yeah.
And it's only in Delhi people have noticed more than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Are we rolling? Cool. I've noticed this more than like my friend that day was talking to me about like how two like different friends from Delhi are sitting in the house.
Yeah.
And one person's like, oh, I'm from South Delhi, and the other person, I'm from East Delhi.
Sure.
And immediately the tone, how they dealt with that person from East Delhi changed.
100%.
They're like too niche. That happened immediately in the conversational tone only.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's that's very obviously a Delhi thing, because in Bombay we don't do that. We're like, okay, I'm from Kulaba, you're from Vasai, but our struggles are almost in a way.
Struggles have brought us to Khar.
To Khar, yeah. You know,
दोनों like घूम फिर के साथ में आते.
I went to Kurla the other day, yaar.
And
I took a U-turn and I came back.
It's the multiverse of madness.
I went there and I was
sadness
like,
rather.
I went there and I was like, ये क्या है? And then I went to Borivali and then I was like, this looks like Paschim Vihar actually.
Yeah, Borivali is cute.
Really,
Borivali is cute.
No,
Yeah.
it's nice. It looks like अपना West Delhi side ही, मतलब अपने जो घर हैं वो.
Yeah.
But I went to some certain parts of Bombay. I was like, I'm still new. You know that.
No, I get it. I completely
and that's a
get
great
it.
perspective. We're not getting that way. Like, you went to Kotla for the first time.
Yeah.
Wow.
What
Tell
was
us
it?
more.
Tell us more. Describe
Phoenix
it.
Market City गया था ना वहाँ पे
हाँ,
कुर्ला में, वहाँ पे gig करने नहीं गया था, देखने गया था for once. Like देखने गया था gig, and I walked and I went there and I was like, wow, so many people. और एक अलग ही भसड़. Like
वाइब अलग, पूरा वो लोग का माइंडसेट अलग, भाषा अलग.
And I looked at it and I was like, I पता नहीं यार, like I felt अजीब सा.
Yeah.
But अजीब.
That's the only place with AC in Kodla, so it makes sense. Everybody comes there for some ventilation once in a while.
you all know the joke, but I'm just laughing because I'm having like some very funny thoughts in my head when I looked at places and people, and there was a certain anger in people's faces, and I felt like I could blend in, like if I was in an anger mode, but this was a different type of anger that I saw, like two people fighting, like all that going on, and auto milna bhi mushkil. Like वहाँ auto वाले is also giving me next level of like कहाँ जाना, बैंड्रा जाना, नहीं जाऊँगा. हाँ. नहीं जाऊँगा, बैंड्रा बोल रहे हैं यार. नहीं कोलाबा तो जाने को बोल रहा हूँ.
Kodla is the only place where like once my partner and I came back from a trip and we had the misfortune of getting off at a Lokmanya Tilak terminus, and वहाँ से रिक्शा बाहर मिला हम लोग को, and we are like sir खार चलोगे, इधर चलूँगा, बैठो, and then when we went to sit down he drove the rickshaw away. Like, you know how your friends बैठना अरे जा रहा बोल रही है, what the fuck are you doing, dude? जब चाहिए तो तुम्हें पत्थर मिलता भी नहीं हाथ में.
वो लोग को ना मीठी नदी का इस साइड नहीं आने का रहेगा.
ये मेरे साथ गोरेगांव में हुआ था एक बारी. मैं गोरेगांव ईस्ट गया था. एक तो ईस्ट और वेस्ट में जा, अब बोलता हूँ क्योंकि मेरे को रोड के इस पार कुछ दिखता है और रोड के उस पार कुछ दिखता है.
गोरेगांव के ईस्ट में जंगल है, वेस्ट में जानवर लोग हैं.
वेस्ट में गया नहीं अभी तक, तो देखे नहीं है जानवर लोग, बट ईस्ट में मैं गया और वहाँ पे इतनी सारी ग्रीनरी है और सडनली घर है. लाइक
आरे गए थे क्या? आरे कॉलोनी गए थे?
नहीं आरे नहीं गया था. आरे गया हुआ मैं ब्रो. आरे इज आल्सो वेरी शेडी प्लेस.
फुल जंगल ब्रो, प्रॉपर.
और पीछे जाके होटल एंड ऑल इज लाइक वेरी शेडी.
व्हाट होटल ऑन सीन? पाम स्प्रिंग्स यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट?
Yeah, somewhere there only, there are hotels there. I remember, well, forget
that
it.
horrible place. Yeah,
horror place. Like वो hotel spooky है वो spooky hotel है. मैं फट गई थी मेरी यार. Like मैं DCF के साथ gig करने आया था हारमन अरीना में, which is Nesco, which is there only, right? Sorry, I'm asking also because
exhibition center.
Exhibition center.
Correct. Yeah.
And they put us up in RA. God. And I was like, oh, it's beautiful. Like this is greenery. This is I want. Suddenly there's a road cut and भाई ये कहाँ आ गया मैं? Like
बॉम्बे से काफी
दूर. मौत जाएगी भाई, निकले गया तो. Bro, टूटी हुई खंडर, like literally, and it felt like कि एक टाइम पे ये कुछ ऐसा होता था, kind of अच्छा, that kind of place.
अब वहाँ पे बस टूटे सपने और बुरा प्लान. अब तेरे को तो पीओपी लगाना आता है सीधा?
उस टाइम थोड़ी आता था, अब आता है ब्रो. अब जाके मैं थोड़ा
मेट्रो शेड के सपने में लग जाओ.
No, but like I went to Goregaon and like this auto guy, I told him, I said भैया चलोगे बैंड्रा? चलेंगे जी. जैसी पैर रखने लगा, ले गया आगे निकल के, फिर रुक गया. अरे वो क्या था, अरे, और फिर चला गया. बोल के अरे चला गया मेरे को. मैं कहा यार ये कैसे है, अरे तो उधर है.
It's the most disorienting thing to do to someone. Just repeat what they say.
Yeah, dude, हाँ बोल के भाग रहे तो मतलब like, I'm like, हाँ, it's like नहीं बोल के भागना, like I trust you, that's way better.
But yeah, man.
This is like, but this works, dude. Like I was in Dubai and I got that stuck, in the immigration. I had gone, long story, but like basically I got stuck in immigration for something, and the guy told me I had to fly back to India.
Sure.
And to everything he was saying, I was like, okay. And then he would be like, so you'll fly back? And I'm like, no. Eventually he just got so annoyed. He's like, your passport is expired. I was like, okay. He's like, it's not okay. I'm like, no, it's okay.
What were you on?
I was on enthusiasm and just desperation to get into Dubai.
I went to Dubai the first time. I wore a t-shirt called Freshly Baked. And I had a wheat.
Very well done.
I am standing at the immigration. The guy is not looking at me. He's looking like this. I am looking at him like, And then I was like, I did that to him. Then my friend was like, भाई अंदर घुसना है तेरे को, जाना है या तेरे को वापस जाना है? And bro, he's looked at me and he's like, please step on the side.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
no, it's please step on the
and
side.
I'm clean. I'm clean.
Yeah.
I stay clean. So I'm like, looking at him, and it's 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm just sleepy. He's like, are you high? Like that guy asked me. He just straight away asked me this question. Are you high? Huh? He's like, please step on the side. मैंने हाँ बोला, उसको लगा कि मैं हूँ. So bro, and then I had to convince him. Then they took a test on me. Like,
they made you pee in a cup?
Yeah. I had to do that. Then I had to sit for 2 hours. तो कहते हैं आपका शुगर लेवल है. मैं कहा भाई कोक पी के आ रहा हूँ.
Speaking of which, this morning randomly I woke up and somebody came to my house saying कि we are from BMC and they're like मलेरिया बहुत बढ़ गया आपके एरिया में तो खून का सैंपल लेना है और मैंने दे भी दिया खून. मैंने ऐसे हाथ उंगली किया, उसने सुई घुसाया, मेरा खून ऐसे मस उसने वो होता ना दो
प्लेट में रखा. उतना ठीक है. अगर बाल्टी नहीं बट बाटली लेके गया होता तो प्रॉब्लम.
मतलब अगर उसने प्रॉपर निकाल के ले गया तो मतलब उसका मतलब
मैंने पूछा भी नहीं कि बीएमसी का आईडी कार्ड दिखाओ या कुछ तो गिव मी ब्लड टू रैंडम
एंथुसियाज्म.
अभी आई एम अफ्रेड कि मतलब और क्या क्या निकलेगा मलेरिया के अलावा मेरे खून में.
Oh man.
Yeah, be careful about that shit. Don't go around giving your blood to people.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like just like a vampire thing where they're like मीठा खून किसका है बिल्डिंग में. Let's only target the ones.
And he did that like when if you were going to do a check like this randomly, you would do like a passing comment कि like oh flower pot में पानी थोड़ा सा रह गया तो उसको साफ कर दो types. I'm like he's trying to compensate right now. मुझे मालूम है मलेरिया कैसे फैलता है okay जैसा. And I'm like कि मच्छर है ना ज़्यादा यहाँ पे. दिखता है तो मालूम नहीं पड़ता है मच्छर रहेगा कि नहीं. मच्छर is the most common thing that will fucking bite you.
But you know, there's this thing with all civic people in Bombay. Like that day there was a fire on somewhere off Linking Road, and I went to see. And the police guy is standing there and just being sarcastic with everyone. People are taking video of the fire and the cop is coming and saying, हाँ video निकालो इससे तो बुझ ही जाएगा ना आग. Like people are getting closer and closer. He's saying also, हाँ जाओ ना अंदर ही चले जाओ ना building में.
Yeah, dude. Authorities being sarcastic, I'm not okay with. Like same in Kolkata, I was traveling and my mask was in my bag. तो bag के security में I turned up like this, you know, body check करने के लिए.
Airport पे.
हाँ airport पे. Like mask कहाँ पर? I'm like bag में. Bag को COVID है कि तुमको COVID होएगा. Chutia.
But come on.
He's got a point. You can't even argue with him. Like,
you deserve that punch.
I felt like sneezing on him then. Just for posterity.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Oh shit. And the guy who was before me, like I was already like, this is like he was rude to everybody. I could sense from two waves away, right? So the guy before me was on a fucking wheelchair, dude. बेचारा पैर टूटवा कैसे गया? And they made him stand somehow. He stood like a 1 feet ऐसे करके. और उसका पीछे स्कैन किया तो उसका कुछ टैग के पास आवाज आया. तो they took him for a cavity check, dude. They took a wheelchair guy to a cavity check fully. And by the time this was done, I was done with my thing. So I'm wearing my belt and all. And this guy comes out wobbling. Okay, उसका wheelchair भी ले लिया उन्होंने शायद से. लिल के आ रहा है. I'm like क्या हुआ? कुछ सीन हुआ? बोलते कि नहीं बस the tag got caught. Like it was a button of some sort, which is what they found, and they made him take his pants down and all while having a broken leg at the airport.
Wow,
it's fucking crazy sometimes.
Yeah, but like this CISF guys, if you're nice to them, they're nice. If you're not, they have all the power in the world to fuck your entire day.
So badly.
Yeah. That's generally all the authorities.
I've been stuck so many times. Yeah, I mean. I don't know. I should say this on camera.
Say it.
But it was so funny that I was on a tour with an artist and generally I carry my bass, right? So somebody had rubbed off some illegal something on a hand on my bass case. So when it went through a scan, that illegal thing showed up. And I'm thinking in my head, like, why are they opening up my bass? They opened up my bass, bro. And they were like, we need to scan this. And they did those. They did
the swabs.
The swab. Right. He took the swab and he swabbed on my bass. He's like, you've done drugs. I'm like, bro, 3 raat se soya nahi hu yaar. If you have something, please.
I mean, let's be honest. That makes it sound like you are doing drugs.
No,
मैं 3 रात से तब drugs कर रहा हूँ. मैं 3 रात से सोया नहीं हूँ.
Like, but I was on tour and I remember like the CISF guy, like my flight. I almost missed my flight. He had me there for like 45 minutes.
Saying what?
He was like, so they were doing all sorts of these stuff on my bass, and somebody actually, I don't know what it was. Some, like when you pick up some stuff, like you pick up poly bag. it might be the polybag is from somewhere else. Apparently that's where I'm coming from. So that polybag might have rubbed on something.
Yeah.
The guy who picked up the polybag also touched my bass. The bass cut touching showed like I was carrying illegal stuff.
Right.
So this guy went and got my checked in baggage, opened it in front of me. 15 CIF people are standing and I'm just like, ऐसे बैठा हूँ.
Where is this?
Bangalore airport.
Okay.
And I'm just like sitting like this, and the artist and everybody have boarded the plane.
Yeah.
मैं ऐसे बैठा हूँ, and then like, if you don't make it to this aircraft, the show won't happen. I said, I know, I'm a bass player. So I'm like sitting there, और वो कह रहा है मेरे को कि भाई उसने मेरे पापा को फोन मिलाने मतलब almost like 10 सेकंड दूर था वो मेरे पापा को फोन मिलाने.
How old are you? How old were you rather at that point?
I was 27.
और उसमें भी पापा को फोन कर रहा था.
वो कर रहा था.
हाँ उनको लगता है ना ऐसा.
उनको लगता है कि भाई बेटा बच्चे तो बच्चे ही होते हैं भाई, जितने भी बड़े हो जाएं. CSF वालों को तो यही लगता है. तो जब पापा को उसने बोला कि लाइक आपको हम डिटेन करें, मैं कहा डिटेन क्या कर रहे हो, कर लो ब्लड सैंपल ले लो. तो ही वाज लाइक कि नहीं आपके इस पे ऐसा पता चला है. देन द हेड ऑफ बैंगलोर एयरपोर्ट सिक्योरिटी गेम. अब वो आया तो 15 लोग ऐसे लाइन में खड़े हो गए. मैं कहा ये कौन, हिटलर आ रहा है लाइक. एंड देन ही इज लाइक, ही जस्ट कम्स एंड ही इज लाइक आप कौन हो. मैं कहा आप कौन हो. लाइक ही इज लाइक मैं बोर्डिंग पास देख ले भाई, मेरा नाम है यार. एंड देन ही इज जस्ट लाइक ही जस्ट इंस्पेक्ट्स. एंड इमेजिन देयर इज वन लाइक हैंड ऑलरेडी दैट इज दे आर चेकिंग. 15 लोगों ने और बेस को हाथ लगा दिया यार. 25 लोग और आगे बेस को हाथ लगाएंगे. देन आई गॉट इरिटेटेड. आई वाज लाइक मैन लिसन, आई कांट लीव दिस बेस. I am not done anything. Please give me my bass and I'm going. In front of that head, bro, I just zipped my bass, picked it up and I walked away. Like 15 उसके चेले खड़े और एक बंदा खड़ा है और उसके सामने मैं चला गया. And then he's like, hey. I was like, bye. I thought bye and I went, bro. उस टाइम मैं चला गया, bro. And मेरे को लगा ये डिटेन पक्का करेगा. And वो इंडिगो स्टाफ बोल रहा है सर this way करके मैं अंदर चला गया. Then I got a notice from like the Bangalore airport security saying कि such and such has happened, you have to show up at the Bangalore thing. It's like bro मैं दिल्ली में रहता हूँ, कहाँ से आ जाऊँगा. Then I showed up 2 महीने बाद. Like आप कौन है. मैंने कहा ये नोटिस है. हाँ हो गया ये.
You're like Nagarjuna जाके lunch करके.
I was like bro yeah, I actually went to Nagarjuna the next day and I was like कि ऐसे क्यों है. Like I was like okay, but it's very weird like how, but then sometimes the airport security also is just very easy.
I तो generally have very good experiences with the airport security.
That's the only time I had.
Lucky, no, that's why.
Yeah,
I'm mad at the entire process all the time.
No, I'm also I have a lot of rage, but not towards the CISF guy.
No,
you know what I mean?
But that's the only time Mehta like I actually had that thing. Other than that, like I've always been dealt with like in a very nice manner. Like when I have colored hair, then they're like, अरे आप तो
शौकीन आदमी हो.
फिर मैं उनको बोलता हूँ मैं बादशाह के साथ बजाता हूँ. अरे बादशाह के साथ बजाता, फोटो भी खिंचवा दो यार. And then I'm like अरे फोटो खिंचवा देंगे, पहले जरा मेरे को बिजनेस क्लास वाली लाइन से निकालो. Then I have these hacks, bro. They let me go through these things and all.
That's great, dude. I have none of these hacks.
I have these hacks, bro. आपने मेरे को देखा होगा टीवी पे, देखे लग रहे हो. Then I take out a photo and show him. अरे आप इनके साथ, हाँ सर फ्लाइट लेट है जल्दी.
I don't know, I have never been able to use. I am actually as a comedian also kind of afraid. I don't want cops to know me. You know what I mean? ऐसा ना हो गया कि अरे उनको ऊपर से मैसेज आया अरे थोड़ा comedians को उठाओ. And they're like कौन जानता हूँ मैं comedian Aakash. You know, so I just don't want to go to jail.
Randomly you're just vanishing from airports.
Yeah.
Like I have my marijuana shoes, right? Like I have these canvas shoes which are like full print marijuana.
Sure.
I never wear those. I just carry them in my suitcase all the time. I'll wear my sports shoes just for that very purpose. कि मतलब one day one idiot needs to be like कि oh ये बंदा ऐसा है. Same situation. Like ये जूते कैसे तूने गांजी के पहने.
Correct.
गांजी के जूते फूक सकते हैं उसको. Like that dumb they can get sometimes.
Yeah.
So you have to
जला के दिखाओ.
हाँ जला के लेस फूका लेस. I don't know what they'll say, dude. So like. And it's crazy. Yeah.
Now, my thing, I always hold like the CISF guys are just doing the job. So I just like, I feel like, okay, I will just like do this in a way where your job is made easier. Because it's not like, we all know, we've traveled enough to know that the CISF guy is not the same cop on the signal looking for a bribe.
Yeah.
He's just there to keep the flight going so that nothing explodes.
But in comparison, it's a very cushy job also.
It is.
Yeah, of course it is. But at the same time, the margin of fucking up is way higher, dude. क्योंकि plane में max to max, अच्छा चलो drugs तो कोई लेके जाएगा, अगर कोई smuggler रहा drugs लेके जाएगा. पर अगर कोई plane फोड़ दिया, dude, तो है ना, मतलब गांड फट जाएगा उसका, dude.
You know, statistically, more than terrorist pilots have blown up planes.
Yeah.
Statistically, I'm speaking right now that there are more pilots who have caused plane crashes than actual terrorists.
Yeah.
So who are we detaining now? let's have that conversation.
No, let's not detain the pilots.
We're not ready for that.
फिर सिर्फ terrorist बचेगा plane उड़ाने.
Dude, recently I have this crazy story. We're coming from Bangalore. Okay, we're coming from Bangalore to Bombay, and small airport. Everybody's like very cute, checking in, whatever. हो गया. It's a 1 hour flight, not more than that. Mangalore's not far, right?
Yeah.
We're flying. Boom. Somewhere in the middle, nobody's seatbelt is on.
Felt.
The sign doesn't come out. Everybody just goes boom. Like, you know, I'm 2 inches elevated, come back, okay? They're like, now wear your seatbelt. So everybody like, seatbelt. Air hostess is walking around. Like, my producer on the show is got his fucking thing open, okay? There's the tray open, oh, phone pe ye dikh raha hai. She's walking past saying, can you please close it? And while she's saying it, does the second thing. And she only sits down next to him. She's like, okay, fuck this. All of this is happening, okay? And I'm seeing like a bunch of men who had boarded before us. Turning around once in a while, okay, they're like, what the fuck? I'm like, kya ho raha hai? Are they like, what happened? Is somebody's head hurt or whatever? Somebody behind hurt? One of their friends is in the loo.
Oh shit!
Oh, man.
By this time, the third thing happens. Okay. By this time, all of us have said our prayers and done this, holding on to dear life, and we're all convinced that he's jaane wala. Okay, it's like you can see there's nothing, you can't see anything from the window, just like rain
clouds,
sheets just hitting you. Okay.
Yeah,
and we're all fucking terrified, and this guy rolls out, okay, from the toilet, just looking shaken as fuck. Okay? He's like, iska goo uski muh se bahar hai. I'm pretty sure it traveled upway because the terror on his face, because all these guys were his friends wondering where he's gone. And this guy didn't come out also after like 2 fucking dips, okay? Third one.
क्योंकि धोने में कितना टाइम लगा रहेगा ना वो डिप के बाद.
और होता भी नहीं धोने के लिए अंदर. You only have tissues in the flight, yeah.
Kudum.
Oh fuck. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Everybody landed like, you're like, oh fuck, we're done, we're fine.
Wow.
So my boyfriend and I have this routine, like this has happened multiple times, where like the plane will like go down and up too crazy. Like with me was the first time, but with Abhi it's happened 2-3 times. So where he's like, he'll just send all these messages, I love you, take care of the cats, tell my mom and dad I love them, you know, you're the best thing that happened to me. And then the plane won't send us messages because it's on the fucking flight mode. And then when he lands, this message come to me, okay? And I'm like, fuck, what happened? He's like, no, I'm in the taxi coming home. I'm like, mother chode. Fucking for 1 second, my balls are in my mouth, you know?
My family, everyone travels a lot. So because of that, the family group has become like a flight board. So
safe
it's mainly
safe flight.
Yeah, safe flight se zyada, it's more basically boarding from this to this, landing at this, boarding, landing, catching next flight, in transit. तो यही बहुत होता है because dad also travels, brother also travels, I also travel, bhabhi and nephew travel less because my nephew is a baby. Speaking of babies, my nephew is way too old for a 2.5-year-old.
Yeah, dude, like he's fully functioning as a mature child.
Yeah, like
I saw him yesterday.
Yeah, he has conversations, dude, and he has questions and he will argue with you and all.
What's the best question he's asked you?
Dude, he asked some stupid ass shit.
Tell me a stupid
It's all
question.
very original. He'll be like, so firstly, right now, his favorite question that he asked me is, why don't you and Shreya Kaki sleep in the same room? Which is the best thing because my fiance comes over, she can't sleep in the same room.
Sure.
So that is my favorite question that he asks, and I encourage him to ask it constantly to his parents, saying, but, you know, he'll be like, but this is Kaka and this is Kaki. They have to be like
together.
You know, yeah. There's a lot of what's for lunch, what's to eat. There's a lot of. Yesterday they were saying bye to him, and he just went okay. Like he just did like जाओ यार
चल हो गया
कुछ खा रहा था या देख रहा था I think.
Yeah, it was too funny.
He has some great questions, man. He says, how do you make sounds? He asks me sometimes.
Nice.
I'll make sounds for him. He'll be like, how do you make it? And I'm like, he just gets fascinated. Right now he's in that phase where he likes fun sounds a lot.
Nice.
So if you tell him story, it has to be like Mannu ka story with Pannu, and then he just loses his mind at.
Kids are easy, dude.
Yeah.
I also have noticed that you can tell kids all of this in like this language, the kids' language, and say whatever you fucking want. Like, you know, sometimes if I'm not happy with my brother-in-law doing something, I'll be like, who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Whose daddy is a piece of shit? Who, you know, just do this
subliminal like messages into the
just
child.
get away with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. fucking asshole.
My-
Asshole. Just do that. It's too cute.
My favorite thing is how he argues, right? Like if he wants something and you don't give it to him, like he wants to watch his serial. Like his serial is a strong word for it, but whatever YouTube thing he watches. And if you take it away from him, immediately he starts saying stuff. आप ऐसा क्यों कर रहे हो मेरे साथ? एक छोटे बच्चे से अपना उसका ये मत ले लो. ऐसा सब बोल रहा है यार. वो 2.5 साल का है.
2.5 साल का बच्चा.
मुझे खुद को 8 साल लगे तो ये सब समझने को, ये सब डायलॉग यूज करने को.
मेरे मासूमियत का फायदा उठा रहे हो.
Oh man, he's so cute, so cute. I love hanging.
But that's a nice little phase until they're 4, and then they become
annoying as fuck. Yeah, he's getting there.
Then the questions start becoming more profound and like unnecessary.
I'm looking forward to those also. What he'll ask me, what about life and all.
Yeah.
His main thing is right now is where is everybody? Like he likes to know where everyone is at any given time. Like where is Dada Dadi? Where are mom dad? Where is dad? Where is Kaka? Where is Kaki? Where is mom? Where am I? Where are we going? What's after this? Like he's an anxious baby that way.
Curious है अभी. Curious
मेरे को लगता है anxious baby है थोड़ा. Like
anxious और curious.
Show him the NASA photo and tell him to shut the fuck up.
Brahman.
बेटा तुम यहाँ हो.
Anything that you're working on right now? Anything cool that's coming out in the next couple of weeks?
Working on my own music, producing for a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Putting out a EP in 2-3 weeks max.
Yes.
And
when this comes out, the timeline will be different. So if you can give us a...
So it'll have come out of 2-3 weeks before. Yeah. So he just had an EP
I think
come
in
out 2-3 weeks before.
August first week.
Yeah, so 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So August first week, and then producing my own music with a lot of people, and producing for a bunch of people as well. I can't give you names. I would love to, but I've signed a bunch of NDAs.
Oh, that's fair.
That's fair.
But it's very exciting. Also, from not being the generic bass player and being more of a producer. Music producer. So producer को लगता है पिक्चर बनाते हैं. Like तो
उसके लिए jeans लगता है.
No, but तो what shit.
बाकी सब सही है. सिर्फ jeans लगता है.
So but yeah, so very excited on making the whole music. Maybe might do a track with Aakash as well.
Maybe only it is stuck on every time he calls me and then
it's not maybe.
I wish he would do casting couch with me.
Nice.
He's refusing.
I'll record.
Please do.
A story for a better time.
Maybe.
Alright, that's it from us at Varta Lab.
It's been absolutely great. Thank you so much for giving us time, man. Such a great time.
Always, anytime. Thank you, Navin. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Hashbass.
If you're listening to this, you can find Hashbass @ Hashbass all over the
Hashbass.
Hashbass.
Hashbass
भाई को बुलाओ.
By Hashik and Hash.
As like my Japanese friend, Hashbass son. I have like a bunch of Japanese friends and they're like, Hashbass son. I'm like, okay guys, relax. It's everything's okay.
I did not bomb you all. Calm down.
Yeah, in Bombay, guys.
And that's bass with BASS, not BASE, as is commonly mistaken. Navin is
or
House of Norona.
BAAS, boss.
Yeah, House Bass.
Hashbass.
Hashbass. But yeah,
Bus ho gaya.
Hashbass on everywhere.
And there's Navin is House of Norona everywhere, and I'm Kuch Bhi Mata everywhere. This is Varta Lab.
Yep.
From the studios, straight into your ears. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.
Into your soul.